Welcome to AutoCAD tutorials. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design a kitchen sink. Right, I have one right here on the screen. So I'm going to design a new one on a new page. So let's get started. I'm going to open up a new page and start this very drawing afresh. So here is a new page. Okay, so I have to choose my workspace. So I come right up here and choose 3D modeling. And again, to start, I'm going to also switch the view to top. So I click right here and choose top. Okay, now I'm going to specify the dimension of this very sink. So let's come over here and switch this to top. Okay, so this is the top view of the sink, and from here to here is 1000 units, and from here to here is 500 units. So I'm going to draw a rectangle of 1000 by 500 units, and before that I'll have to switch the view to top. Okay, so I can now draw my rectangle. Click on the rectangle command and draw a rectangle of 1000 by 500 units. Okay. So move the UCS away from here. Okay, so here's the rectangle. Next, I'm going to offset this rectangle by 10. So I click on the offset command, enter 10, and offset this. Offset again by 10. Okay, and click enter. Now I'm going to use the fillet command to fillet the four corners of this very rectangle, the outer rectangle. So I'm going to click on offset command, right click and choose radius, and enter a radius of 10. Then right click and choose polygon so that I can fillet the four corners at the same time. So I click on this. Okay, you can see that all the four corners have all been applied with fillet. Again, I'm going to now apply fillet on the four corners of this very rectangle as well. So I click on fillet, right click and choose radius. This time I'm going to make it a radius of 20, so I enter 20. Also right click and choose polygon and click on this. Also repeat the same thing right here. Right click and repeat fillet. Choose a radius of 20. Enter. Right click and choose polygon and also click on this. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a square of 350 by 350. So I click on the rectangle command and draw a square of 350 by 350. Okay. Now also with the fillet command, I'm going to fillet the four corners of this very square. So I click on fillet, right click and choose radius. This time I'm going to make the radius 50. So I enter 50 and also click and choose polygon so that I can fillet the four corners at the same time, and click on this. Okay. Now I'm going to move this square from this midpoint and drop it on this very midpoint. Okay. So I'm now going to shift this square to the right by 20. So I click on the move command, click on this, pick from here, and move to the right by 20. I have to check the auto mode So make this horizontal, okay. 20, okay. Now I'm going to draw a line of 100 from this very midpoint. Draw a line of 100 units. Okay. So I'm going to draw another rectangle, this time of 350 by 250. So I click on the rectangle command, draw a rectangle of 250 by 350. Okay. Now with the fillet command again, I'm going to fillet the four corners of this very rectangle. So I click on fillet, choose a radius of 50, right click and choose polygon and click on this. Now move this rectangle from this midpoint and drop it right here. Okay, so I'm now going to draw a line from this point down to this very point. Now move this line from the midpoint and drop it here. Now shift this line by 20 units to the right. So I click on move. Move this line 20 units to the right, 20. Okay. Now copy this line again from the midpoint, drop it at this midpoint. Now move the line, move this line also 20 units to the left. Alright, now with the line command, I'm going to join up the ends of this very line. Repeat line and also close up this end. Okay. Okay, with the offset command, I'm going to offset this line by 50. So I click on offset, enter 50, and offset this line by 50. Okay, offset again by 10, offset 10, offset again by 50, offset 10, offset 50. Okay, enter. Okay, so with the trim command, trim off this, trim, and trim. Okay, now draw a line from this midpoint to connect this. That's it. Also trim off this. Okay. Now with the fillet command, enter a radius of 20. Fillet this and this. Repeat fillet, fillet this and this. Now click on fillet, this time choose a radius of 10 and fillet this and this. Repeat fillet, fillet this and this. Repeat fillet, enter a radius of 50. and fillet this and this. Okay. Now click on fillet again. Enter a radius of 20. Enter. Then fillet this. Repeat fillet. Repeat fillet. Okay, so next I'm going to now use the join command to join them up. Join this. Join them all up. Now with the mirror command, I'm going to mirror this to this other side. I remove this line. Then click on mirror. Click on this tree. Then choose the midpoint of this. And mirror to the other side. Exit. Okay. Okay, so I'm now going to draw a circle at the geometric center of this very square. Right click and choose a diameter of 50. Do the same thing right here. Draw a circle. Locate the geometric center of this, which is this, and draw a circle of diameter 50. Okay. So I'll now draw a rectangle of 250 by 40 by 250. Then pick it from the geometric center and drop it right here. Okay. Now use the fillet command. Enter a radius of 20 and fillet this. Repeat fillet. Do the same thing right here. Repeat fillet. Okay. Also use the join command to join it up. Then remove this line. Erase. Now draw a line from this very point, then draw a circle at the midpoint here. Draw a circle of diameter 25. Okay, then remove this line. Erase. So I will now change the view to isometric. So I click on this and choose isometric. Okay. So I'm going to click on this. Choose this. And these ones, then move it down by 10 units. Down by 10. So I will now switch to surface toolbar. Click on surface. Okay, so I'm now going to loft this to this. So I click on loft and loft this to this. Okay. Now with surface patch tool, I'm going to patch this. So I click on surface patch. Right click and choose curves. Click on this. and enter again. Okay, so I'm now going to trim off this. So with the trim command, click on trim. I'm going to trim this, click on this, enter. Now the cutting curves, click on the cutting curves, which is this, enter, and choose the side, select area to trim, which is this. Now exit this command. Okay, so I'm also going to patch this surface. So I click on patch, right click and choose chain, click on this, enter, right click and enter again. Now I'm also going to trim off this portion. So click on the trim command, click on this, enter, select the cutting edge, use the cutting edge, this, and enter. Now select the portions I want to remove, click on this, remove this, and enter. Okay. So let's view on shade of gray. So I return to the home page and click on shade of gray to see how it looks like. Okay, so I now have this. Okay, so I now switch again back to surface toolbar. Now this time I'm going to extrude these ones to a height of 5 units. So I click on extrude and extrude this, and this to a height of 5 and enter. Also repeat extrude and also extrude this to a height of 5. Okay. Now with the surface patch, I'm also going to patch the top. So I click on patch, right click and click on chain, then patch this, enter, enter again, right click again and repeat patch, click on chain, patch this, okay, repeat patch, click on chain, patch this, okay. So I also have to patch this very one. So I click on patch, choose curves, okay. I'm now going to switch again back to the home page. And this time I'm going to extrude this very square and this, extrude to a height of 150. So I click on extrude and extrude this (150). Also extrude this to 150. 150. Okay. I'm going to turn it around and fillet the bottom edges. Now click on fillet edge and fillet these sharp bottom corners. So I type F and choose fillet edge. Now choose a radius of 50 and enter. And choose chin. Enter. Enter again. Now repeat fillet edge. Choose a radius of 50. Click on chin and click on this. Right click, enter, and exit this command. Then return the view. Okay, so the next I'm going to shell this to a thickness of 2 mm. So I click on the shell command, click on solids and click on shell. I'm going to shell this and choose a thickness of 2. Right click and exit this command. Enter. Repeat the same thing right here. Click on shell. Click on this. Remove this face. Enter. Enter 2. Right click and exit this command. Okay. Now I'm going to extrude these 2 circles. So I click on extrude, return to the home page, click on extrude, extrude this circle, also extrude this one, repeat extrude, extrude this. Okay. Now with the solid subtract command, I'm going to subtract these 2 from this. So I click on this first and subtract this. Also subtract this. Click on this and subtract this. Okay. So I now have this. Now I use the union command to join all this. So I click on union and click on this and this. Enter. Okay. Click on union again. Click on this and this. Enter. Right. Union. This and this. And enter. Okay, so I now have to convert these ones now to 3D solid. So I just have to add thickness to it. So I click on TH for thickness. Click on thicken. Click on this, enter, and enter a thickness of 2. So I now have a 3D solid here. So repeat thickness, repeat thicken, thicken this, enter 2. I now have a 3D solid. Repeat the same thing. Right click, choose thicken, click on this, enter, enter 2, 3D solid. Do the same thing for this, repeat. Okay, so I can now fillet these edges as well, since they are now solids. So I'm going to use the fillet edge command to fillet this. So I type on F and choose fillet edge and choose a radius of 5. Now click on chain and fillet these edges. Enter. Enter again. Repeat fillet edge. Click on this. Click on chain. Click on this and enter again. Repeat fillet edge. Click on this. Click on chain. Okay. Also do the same thing for this. Repeat fillet edge. This. So first I'll have to also use the union command to join this. So I click on union and click on these two and enter. Okay. Now also apply thickness on this. So I click on TH for thicken. Enter 2. And enter 2 as thickness. Okay, so this is now done. So I now have to apply this fillet again. So I click on F for fillet edge. Click on fillet edge. Right click and choose a radius of 5. Enter. Click on chain and click on this. Right click, enter, and exit this command. Okay. With the union command, I'm going to join this, and this. So I click on union, click on this, and this, and this. Okay, so I now have one. Okay. Now I'm going to apply thickness on this one as well. So I click on this. Click on TH for thickness, for thicken. Click on thicken. Select the object which is this. Enter and enter a thickness of 2. Okay. So I now have here a 3D solid. So next I'm going to apply fillet on these sharp edges as well. So I click on F for fillet edge, click on fillet edge, specify a radius of 20 radius, right click and choose chain, and click on this, right click, enter, and enter again. Do the same thing for this. Repeat fillet edge, right click, choose 20, right click and choose chain, and click on this, enter, and enter again. Okay. For the tab, so I'm going to switch to wireframe, then change the UCS to left. Click on this and choose left. Okay, now use the polyline command. Draw a line of 150 upwards. Right click and choose arc, and draw an arc of 200. Okay. Exit this command. Now draw a line of 25 from this red point. 25. Then move the line up by 60. Click on move. Move this line by 60 up. Okay. Okay, I'm now going to switch this to top view. Change this to top view. Now draw a circle of 40 diameter, diameter 40, and extrude this circle to a height of 80. 80. Okay. Now draw another circle of 15 diameter. Draw diameter 15. And sweep this very circle along this very path. Click right here and choose sweep. Sweep this circle, enter, and click on this. Alright, now draw a circle of 25 diameter. Sweep this very circle, enter, along the very path. Okay. Now I'm going to switch this UCS to left now. So I click and choose left. Now draw a circle of 25 diameter. Draw a line from the center. Draw a line of 30. Now draw a polygon of 6 sides, which here at the center. Enter. Make this 30. Okay. Now sweep. Now use the loft command to loft this to this. Enter. And enter again. Okay, so I'm now going to use the fillet edge to fillet this. So I type on F and enter a radius fillet edge. Enter a radius of 5. Enter. And click on this. Okay. So I'm not going to move this. Click on move this. Pick it from this very center and drop it at the center. Okay. So now I'm going to move the whole of this. Click on move the whole of this. Pick it from the very center and drop it at the center. Okay. So let's see how that looks like. Okay. And remove this line. Okay. So I now have to draw the strainer at the bottom. So I'm going to do that. So I have to draw the strainer at the bottom. So I'm going to switch the UCS to top. Now draw a circle of 50 diameter. Diameter 50. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to make a copy of this. Copy. Okay, now switch to surface. Then extrude this by 12. Click on this. and extrude down to 12. Enter. Okay, so I'm now going to surface patch this very one. Click on surface patch, then click on this, click on curves, click on this, and enter. Enter again. So I'm going to trim up this. Use the trim command. Trim this up. Enter, and click on this cutting edge. Click on this. Enter, and remove this. Okay. Now draw a rectangle. Draw a rectangle of 4 by 30. Now move this from here. Locate the center right here. Okay. Now with the to trim up this. Trim it. Okay. Now sweep. Okay, so now use the polar array. Polar array. Array this to put here at the center. Make it 12. Click items and make it 12. Enter. And enter again. Okay. And expand this a little. Okay. Now trim off these portions as well. Okay, now trim off this. Okay. Trim this off. Okay. Now join them up using the join command. Join. Okay. I'm going to move the whole of this one now. Click on move. Move this from the center. And bring it to the center. Okay. So I'm now going to extrude this by 1 mm. So click and choose extrude and extrude this by 1 mm. 1. Right. Now click on union. You can click on union. Union this and this. Okay. Right. Now apply thickness on this. So I click thicken. TH for thicken. And click on this. And click 2. Okay, so let's see how it looks like in shade of gray. Okay, so here is the shade of gray. So I'm not going to move this to the bottom of the sink. So click on union. Okay, now move this. Or I copy this. Pick it from the center. Pick it from the center. Then bring it right here. also bring it right here. Then erase this. Okay. So let's view now on realistic view. Okay. So I'm now going to rotate this at an angle of 45 degrees. I'm going to click on this, right click and choose rotate. Click on 3D wireframe. Click on this, right click, choose rotate. Rotate the center from here. Then rotate this. Switch off the mode. So let's put at this angle. Okay. Let's see how that looks like. Okay. Let's view realistic view. Alright. So here is our sink now completed. So thank you for watching, and please do subscribe for more tutorials.